अभी क्या एक सैलरी एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं लोग IIM विशाखापट्टनम में, फिक्स सैलरी?
If you stay just focus, you'll anyways get somewhere between 12 to 14 easily.
तब अगर फिक्स CTC मान लीजिए आपका X था, अभी इन 6 years कितनी ग्रोथ हो गई? लाइक
So anywhere between 2x and 3x in 5 years is good. Right?
तो IIM लखनऊ कैंपस ज़्यादा खूबसूरत है कि विशाखापट्टनम?
I think IIM Visakhapatnam was a great campus.
IIM लखनऊ वाले कह रहे हैं कि विशाखापट्टनम कैंपस बहुत सुंदर था. Which companies pick up more in consulting?
Accenture,
Okay.
Deloitte.
IIM लखनऊ के बारे में मैंने एक तो और चीज़ें सुनी है. Does not release average salaries क्योंकि एक बार किसी की सैलरी रिलीज कर दी थी और उसको किडनैप कर लिया. Alright guys, welcome to the channel The IIM Guy. जैसा आपने अभी देखा है कि we have started a series जिसमें I'm interviewing people who've passed out from IIMs and top B schools. And this video is gonna be about old IIM versus new IIMs because I have two alumni. Sharang is IIM Lucknow pass out from 2019 batch. And अमोल को आप में से बहुत लोग जानते होंगे. वो YouTube में he's an influencer, he's a YouTuber and content creator and MBA influencer. And ये IIM विशाखापट्टनम से है जहाँ से मैंने भी MBA किया है. And he's just passed out this year 2025. तो हम में से काफ़ी लोगों को ये सवाल होता है कि यार ओल्ड IIM और न्यू IIM में क्या अंतर है? कहने को दोनों IIM से, पर आजकल इतना old baby IIMs and Amol is actually from a third generation IIM and which you a lot of people say it's a baby IIM. तो हम अभी एक्चुअली देखेंगे कि क्या क्या एक्सपीरियंसेस है जो सेम होते हैं, जो कोर आपको हर IIMs देते हैं, और क्या लाइफ होता है दोनों जगह. तो सबसे पहले शारंग, if you could introduce yourself more and which batch were you from and yeah, I've said the batch, but just tell something about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I am Sharang Gaikwad. I'm from Mumbai, but I passed out from IIM Lucknow in 2017-19. Majors were strategy and marketing, and currently working at Capgemini as an associate director or a client partner or a business development representative. All three synonymous terms. Working with clients to engage and sell. So it's been 6 years in the corporate journey post my MBA, and happy to be here.
What was your program? I know, but what is it called, the program that you were recruited
It's
for?
called Capgemini Elite.
And which B schools does this program go to?
So Capgemini Elite is currently open for only top 10 B schools, which is CAB, CL, Excel, FMS, IK, SPJ.
Great.
And it's a year-long program with 4 rotations of 3 months each. So that's the program I was in. And then after a year, you get to pick the full-time role.
So guys, this was what I wanted you guys to know. So Sharang is of course from an old IIM. IIM Lucknow is one of the oldest IIMs. It's also called Hell. I'll ask you later why, if it is called and why is it called Hell. But जो टॉप IIMs है वहाँ पे Capgemini has a program called Elite. It's different from the other program जो Chrysalis बोलते हैं. तो इसकी सैलरी भी ज़्यादा होती है. और so he started. What designation did you start from in Capgemini after you were?
After Capgemini Elite, we started off as a manager. But Capgemini folks, Chrysalis people start off as a consultant.
Exactly. So this is what I wanted to share, and this is why I am having this series and talking to people like Sharang. कि Sharang, I think Sharang was a fresher as well.
No, I have to.
To work. But Sharang, even though being very young, was one of the youngest managers in Capgemini because top B school में गए और elite program में चले गए थे. तो यहाँ managers के start करते हो. But अगर आप normal IIM विशाखापट्टनम से हो या आप XIMB से हो, NMIMS हो, जो अच्छे colleges हैं, then you will start from a senior consultant or a consultant role because आपका program is Chrysalis program. Amol, tell us about yourself, please. और अभी आप कहाँ place हो? Because you can share that now.
I'll give my whole introduction. So I'm Amol Katiyar. I'm from Kanpur, UP. I did my MBA from Vizag, batch of 23-25. I was a fresher when I joined, and right now I've just joined Dr. Lal Path Labs as management trainee in sales and marketing. And I think this is a coincidence. In our company, they also call the program Chrysalis only. I don't know why.
Your program is also called Chrysalis.
Yeah.
Copy किया लगता है इन्होंने. And which company are you in?
Dr. Lal Path Labs.
अच्छा, okay, great.
So my designation right now is management trainee only. So into marketing, I majored in marketing and strategy. So later on, I hope I get promoted to
Great.
roles like.
Okay, the next question now, because इससे थोड़ा पता पड़ेगा कि what is the percentile. तो आप अपना भी share कर सकते हो if you want to, or the average percentile that people get into. तो IIM लखनऊ में what was your percentile which made you get into IIM Lucknow?
So I was at 99.62.
Oh, wow.
The cutoff was 99. Between, as far as I recall, 4.2 and 4.8 के बीच में कुछ था.
And कितने IIM से आपको calls आए थे? उस वक्त
Lucknow was my best call.
That's not the best call. Or but you must have got calls from all new IIMs and
Yeah, and Indore, Kozhikode,
great.
um, the newer ones also in bundles, and yeah, Vizag, Nagpur, Shillong. Yeah, but those are the main ones.
That's a good point which I would want to emphasize on because you got a 99.62 percentile शारंग तो आपका 99.62 percentile आया और आपका लखनऊ का ही बेस्ट कॉल आया तो आपका 10-12 कॉलेज मार्क्स आप बताना चाहोगे या कि किस में what was your profile if you want to share?
I think it was because of my undergrad score,
Which was what?
which was around a 7 GPA.
Which is not bad. मेरा 6.5 है.
So I think that didn't cut through.
Okay. तो वही तो IIM ABC के लिए और ज़्यादा अच्छा प्रोफाइल
Yeah,
चाहिए.
that's what,
I
that's
think
what the
great. But okay. And आप अपना percentile बताना चाहोगे?
Scored something 96.5, I think.
Okay.
The only 99 I saw was in my BRC, that's it, nothing else.
Great.
And just like him, my grad score was not good, like it was almost 70%. And but before that, like my 10th, 12th were decent enough, but I got 96.5 and that's it.
And when you went to your B schools, so Sharang, I'll start from you. What the people who made in, at least I am Lucknow, वो कौन से colleges से थे, उनका कैसा profile है? If you could just speak about the premier colleges and कौन से diverse वाले roles कौन से lawyers थे कि नहीं थे, CAs, what kind of batch profile you had?
Okay. So premier colleges, we had a lot of folks from IITs and NITs. I think my batch was around 450 plus. It's now I think around 600. In 450, I feel we had about 70% engineers during my batch, and a big chunk of those engineers, I would say at least 30 to 40% were from IITs and NITs.
30% of engineers were IITs. Wow. And then
Some IIT, old IIT, or even
yeah,
I wouldn't call this say IIT, but like a
premier college,
premier college, premier.
like BITS.
So engineering was that, but a lot of folks from IIM Lucknow were from good colleges in DU also.
Like Shriram College,
So SRCC or
Stephens.
Stephens or Ram.
Yeah, Ramjas,
Ramjas
yeah.
Or Hansraj or I don't know.
Great, great.
I'm not from Delhi, but a lot of people who are from there. DTU is another good college.
So does it matter? I mean,
Yes, I do, yeah.
तो do you think कि कॉलेज अच्छा है उससे प्रोफाइल अच्छा हुआ इसलिए एडमिशन मिला कि कॉलेज का भी एक फर्क पड़ता है?
So I think when you get a shortlist in a B school, a brand matters on your CV.
Yeah.
If the brand of the college is known, you are well known. If the brand of the company is known that you have on your CV, you have a better chance of getting a shortlist. During
This is for placements.
placement or summer MBA.
But I'm talking about admissions. Admissions में उतना फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
Admissions में इतना नहीं फर्क.
But in placements, this is a great point. In placements, you're saying the college brand matters a lot, is what you're saying.
College brand and the company that you work in after that.
And if I have to ask you to rank 1, 2, 3, your perception,
Yeah.
कि what are the because summer internship जब होती है तब आपके CGPA MBA का नहीं होता.
Right.
तो summer internships में what are the top 3 things which matter? And you can again repeat, but rank them 1, 2, 3.
So it depends from the profile,
Company
right?
to company, yeah.
Like,
But overall, हाँ.
overall, my personal sense is, if you have a great brand on your CV in terms of work X,
WorkX, okay.
even if that is bad work, a brand matters more. That this
Understood.
brand hired you, so my brand can
Hmm.
hire you. Is how recruiters think.
Great,
So that made a big difference.
great. अमोल अपने बैच प्रोफाइल के बारे में मतलब कैसे कहाँ से लोग आए थे, टॉप कॉलेजेस क्या
I
थे?
think for engineers, so our batch size was 380. Out of engineers, I think only like 10 to 15 people were there from IITs and NITs. The rest of them were like from other colleges. For like non-engineers, yes, a huge chunk of people were from Delhi University, like
Wow.
Hansraj and all. I don't know the colleges. A huge chunk of people from there. Apart from that, I think that was it for WorkX. Talk about the profile, we had like people who were like grade 1 officers in PSUs, people working in let's say Royal Bank of America, Scotland. We had those kind of people. Few from FMCG, but majority from Indian IT companies. And yeah, that's it. So 21% were freshers, the rest were work experience.
नॉन इंजीनियर्स का ऐसे भी सो जितना आप नीचे कॉलेजेस में जाते हो उतने नॉन इंजीनियर्स ज़्यादा बढ़ते हैं. आई डोंट नो क्यों एग्जैक्टली ऐसा है और इंजीनियर्स कम होते हैं. सो आपके और क्या क्या प्रोफाइल्स के लोग थे फॉर नॉन इंजीनियर्स? लॉयर्स, डॉक्टर्स, ऐसे भी लोग थे?
We had like people from pharma, biotech, bio. We had few lawyers, not many. Then we had people who were like having their own startups and businesses. I think we had a few people from farming background as well. Like they were into agriculture and nothing else. So that made profile very diverse.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Now talk to me about the B School campus life. And I'll start from you, Amol, this time. आप जब थे तो IIM विशाखापट्टनम का न्यू कैंपस स्टार्ट हो गया था, राइट? तो हाउ इंटेंसिव और कॉम्पिटिटिव लाइफ देयर इज़ कि आप कितना घंटा निकाल पाते हो कि आपको अपना जो भी करना है अपार्ट फ्रॉम द कैंपस MBA, आपके जो पर्सनल हॉबीज़ या काम है वो करते हो, मे बी वर्कआउट या कुछ और, या सोते हो, उसका कितना टाइम मिलता था? हाउ कॉम्पिटिटिव डू यू थिंक, यू नो, इंस्टेंसेस बता सकते हो, हाउ कॉम्पिटिटिव डू यू थिंक द बैच वाज, और हाउ कोलैबोरेटिव वो एटमॉस्फेयर कैसा था अगर आप डिस्क्राइब करना चाहो कंपेयर टू से UG कॉलेज?
Okay. So talking about the atmosphere first, so I think there was a stark difference between many groups. Like I've seen this, I visited like I'm Bangalore, XLRI. There the atmosphere is very different. People are very serious. But I've seen this sadly in like BBMs. Let's say if you have a batch of 380, I would say like 100, 150 people would be good. The others maybe they'll have some other things to do. Like they'll never talk about those MBA concepts or things that are productive. So you got to be very selective during the start only, that okay, I need to hang out with these kind of people, not these people. So that was a challenge, especially like I found that when I joined the new IIM or maybe IIM, but I heard from my friends that the same situation was not there when they joined like a good B school.
अच्छा,
That was about the
तो योर परसेप्शन इज कि टॉप B schools में लोग और ज़्यादा, व्हाट इज योर से ऑन दिस?
So I have noticed a trend very similar. People are more career focused, more placement focused in top B schools,
Achha.
very aggressive. But when it comes to say a baby IIM, I feel some seriousness goes away because I feel there is no hope of a better future. But a lot of it I feel is also passed down from senior to junior. Because when you enter an old IIM, you don't know the ways, you're curious. But we as part of IIM Lucknow, we at least did 20 CV reviews with a senior. That was our way to interact with the senior, meet them, get to know them, talk to them, and then help them with the profile upliftment. यही number जो 20 हमने on an average किया, say 15, 18 is less than 10 or less than 5, 6.
Okay.
So there is no hand-holding and uplifting that CV should be a masterpiece. And then followed by 20 odd personal interviews, which I see is not a culture in BBI.
Is it true, Amol? Do you think this is right about this?
So there's no system at place for this. Like we don't have necessity that we'll do 20 CV reviews. It's just that if you if you find a good senior like who's really helpful, people do that. But not everybody. Like if you have good connections, then only they do that. Even I did that. I had like beautiful seniors. Like I took help from a lot of them. But at the same time, I saw many people struggling with that because in the very start they were not careful enough to choose their company. So that I think depends on the kind of company you choose in the initial months of your MBA.
But isn't it like, my view is, if you are number 2 or if you're number 14, if you are from IIM Visakhapatnam, you should work harder because then you would want the best. And of course, it's an IIM, so in out of 180 profiles, if they're there, at least 30-40 will be very good, which might go into old IIMs as well. So shouldn't people work hard there or get their CVs reviewed as much?
So that is the stark difference which I was talking about. And I think I have a theory why this happens. So we all know that every IIM has like some kind of reservations, right? So when we talk about top B schools, even if a person is getting reservation, we know he or she is talented. But when it comes to baby IIMs, if a person is coming after reservation in that kind of college, if you compare that person
Understood.
with, let's say, a gym candidate, there's a huge difference. And so
That's
like there are a lot of people of that profile, that's stark difference.
That's an honest truth. It's a sensitive thing that you've spoken, but I think that because of the difference in the lowest percentiles in both these colleges are a little different.
Very different. Very different.
I think that also affects the quality. Cool. But then, okay, when you talked about aggressive, Sharang, did you also mean competitive? And now my question is कि जब इतना competitive होता है, like when you go to IIM Lucknow, 2-3 महीने बाद ये समय internships होते हैं, the McKinsey's come और फिर 20 बच्चों को उठाए जो रह गए, then how do you form friendships then? How is it? Because अब थोड़ा like how do you form good friends in such a competitive environment? And I'm sure you've had good friends there.
Yeah, so it's, you know, a lot of that is going to happen, and you know that this is temporary, but knowing a person is going to be long lasting. And in the first 3 months, you do so much. You do so many CV reviews, you do so many club committee selections, there's so much junior senior interaction, there's so much within class batch interaction, there's crazy amount of assignments. So you form random connections. Like through academic rigor, through the way the program is designed, बहुत structured है to find connections and to know good people. And by the time placements come, वो भी एक culture जैसा pass on होता है that you have to stand for your batch and make sure they are also placed along with you. तो वो बहुत factor है. Like during the placements, like I can speak from my batch. Nobody did I find कि यार इसका ये कैसे हो गया यार ये ऐसा हो गया. मतलब होंगे
Not a
ऐसे.
negative, okay.
हाँ मतलब ऐसा नहीं होगा हो भी सकता है possibilities. But in that room when placements were happening, it's a strenuous environment, but people are supportive. They're very there to help you through it.
So it's a healthy competition.
It's a healthy competition.
I'm talking to people like you, Sharang. I want to know about the culture. Now, strong B schools have a strong culture. I've been to established B schools, and there is a very strong culture. But it's very difficult to let people know or to tell someone else ki what is that culture and why did that culture become strong. So is it because a lot of batches have passed out? Is it because you're more confident there? Is it because the quality of students are more there? How can new IIMs have that culture which an IIM Lucknow has or an XLY has?
I think it's a good question. I think it's a factor combination of a lot of things. First, when you see quality of students, there is in general more drive. So they have proven themselves already once. They know that they have to prove themselves again. Because you are again with the like-minded set and the best will probably end up getting the company that they desire. So, वो quality of students में ही drive होता है more to form newer committees. Say public policy club नहीं है या ऐसा नहीं है. Let's create that, bring that due culture. Of course, there is full geographic spread. I've noticed that in Baby IIM sometimes certain geographies are. We had like from South India, Central India, good strong representation. So a lot of cultures, communities get formed. That's another way of social interaction. But the rigor culture and really prioritizing that CV, that HR questions or all of that comes through PlaceCom, Disha and all of that combined, that this is important. This is what will get you. That whole holistic understanding वो नहीं है पूरे बैच में.
Understood. हाँ.
पूरे बैच से जाके बैच में ट्रांसफर होना चाहिए. And there are mechanisms towards it.
Understood. अमोल आपका क्या कहना है? जैसे मैं IIM विशाखापट्टनम में 2018 बैच से था, तो इतना बड़ा ना कैंपस था ना बैच, 2 बैचेस आए थे. कल्चर हम बना रहे थे, वो भी बना भी नहीं सकते, बनता है मतलब इट्स जस्ट गेटिंग फॉर्म्ड. आपके टाइम पे कैसा था? डू यू थिंक दैट एक यूजी के कंपैरिजन में एक कल्चर था, एक इन्वायरमेंट था जो आपको अच्छा लगे, जो यू नो IIM विशाखापट्टनम कल्चर कह सकते हो, IIM कल्चर कह सकते हो? हाउ वाज इट? हाउ वाज योर एक्सपीरियंस?
I think I was lucky enough because in IIM Vizag the culture is very different if you compare it with other IIMs of the same generation. I don't know because firstly we have IIM Bangalore as our mentor, so like we have a lot of professors from there. Secondly, our administration they focus a lot on culture as well.
What do you mean when you say it's different?
So basically, let's say your learning, pedagogy, and all are fixed, right? But when it comes to normal interaction between students, let's say about club formation or like a general workshop thing, which even if nobody is initiating on their own, because again, people are not that competitive, not that supportive. The administration, the professors, they are very open for that. And like they push you to do those things, all those things. They'll never say that okay, you need to focus on only studies. You are a BBM student, you need to score more. No, so they're open to everything. Again, the competition was not that much. The drive was missing. But I've seen.
पर कल्चर का मतलब है कि अपार्ट फ्रॉम जो ये सब चीज़ें हैं कि ऑफ कोर्स कॉम्पिटिशन्स एंड ये सब चीज़ें, एक यूनिटी हो, एक एक्टिविटीज़ हो, पार्टीज़ हो, मतलब एक हेल्प करने आ रहे हो सीनियर्स, अगर आप वो सब था.
That again was there.
Okay.
And similar to IIM Lucknow, we have like people from all the parts of the country, southern India, eastern India, and so the good thing was nobody formed just a separate group. Everybody used to live together only. And about seniors, yeah, everybody is very open because they have an idea that okay, we are from Baby IIM, so everybody will need our help. So seniors were very helpful, and yeah, I think the culture was healthy enough as compared to like I've talked to many people who joined with me to the IIMs. I think I was lucky enough that in Vizag it's good.
Yeah. Another thing to add, a lot of seriousness was transferred from the placement prep team to us. So from the committees, there is placement committee definitely, but there's a placement separate team for IIM Lucknow. Unke mentors are really like every college would have it of course, but वो लोग जो 12-15 मेंटर्स होते हैं उनके सिर पे बैठ के सीवी रिव्यूज करा करा के उनका ट्रैक करा के इसने 10 किए है या नहीं, इनने किससे मिलना चाहिए, इनका सीवी बेटर कौन कर सकता है, इन्होंने किसके साथ इंटरव्यू देना चाहिए, तो वो मैप उनके लिए पूरा जर्नी मैप कर लेते थे कि तू ये कर and follow up चाहिए. I don't know if that really happens in Bangalore. That was one of the drivers to get that seriousness. Boss, you need to do placement prep and not just sit.
अंडरस्टूड. थोड़ा प्लेसमेंट्स के बारे में बताइए. अभी तो आप अभी निकले हो. आई नो यू कैन शेयर अ फ्यू थिंग्स, यू कैन नॉट शेयर अ फ्यू थिंग्स, बट अब जैसे आप निकले हो तो एक अभी क्या एक सैलरी एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं लोग IIM विशाखापट्टनम में, फिक्स सैलरी की यार इतना इन हैंड अगर बताएं, आप CTC मत बताओ, पर इतना इन हैंड आप एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हो कि आपका इतना EMI चल जाएगा, इतना रेंट, अभी क्या चल रहा है, अगर आप थोड़ा एक रेंज देना चाहो.
Because I'll only tell the fixed part.
हाँ फिक्स का बताइए.
So like if you stay just focus, not really focus, just focus, you'll anyways get somewhere between 12 to 14 easily.
ओके.
You'll have to be really bad at what you're doing if you go below that. But except a couple of FMCGs who are not paying much, but the role is really good.
Great.
But from those companies, easily you'll get 12 to 14. And then if you like improve your profile grades wise or SIP and all, then it goes on.
मतलब महीने का 80-90 हज़ार मान सकते हो आप, अकाउंट में आ जाएगा, और उसमें EMI आपके 25-30 हज़ार जाएंगे अगर आप लोन लेते हो पूरा, बट फेयर इनफ फॉर
That is like
लोएस्ट एस्टिमेट आप कह रहे हो, कंजर्वेटिव एस्टिमेट कर रहे हो, एवरेज नहीं कह रहे हो आप ये.
exactly conservative.
ओके, तो लो एंड पे आपकी सैलरी बता रहे हो. शारंग, आई विल नॉट आस्क सैलरी नंबर्स, आपको तो काफ़ी टाइम हो गया है, बट मेरे लिए आपके लिए उससे इंटरेस्टिंग सवाल है. आई थिंक 2019 में 25-30 का एवरेज होता होगा CTC. तब अगर फिक्स CTC मान लीजिए आपका X था, आई वुड लाइक टू, या लोगों का X होता है एन एवरेज, अभी इन 6 years कितनी ग्रोथ हो गई, लाइक 3x 4x, व्हाट इज द ग्रोथ इन 6 years on an average?
In my understanding, you should look to target about 15%
year on year.
CAGR.
Okay.
ज़्यादा हो जाता है because today's market is tough.
Yeah.
So this was average. Say 5 years back, you should have eyed for this growth. But in the last 2-3 years, things have stagnated a little. So anywhere between 2x and 3x in 5 years is good. It's not-
14% is 2x.
Yeah.
तो 14% में दुगना हो जाता है 5 साल में, 6 साल में आप थोड़ा ज़्यादा मान लीजिए.
Right. So 2x to 3x.
And this is good. This is good.
Very reasonable.
ओके. हाँ, क्योंकि बहुत कंपनीज आपको 10% हाई देती है, फिर आपको प्रमोशन लेना होता है, स्विच मारते हो, तो द एवरेज कम्स आउट टू बी 14. इफ यू ग्रेट मे बी 18%, 20%. CAGR would be like awesome.
Yeah, but that's very rare.
That's very rare.
Those will happen in situations बहुत luck, timing, role. Need to align for that. Yeah.
तो अगर आप 20 लाख CTC से स्टार्ट कर रहे हो 2020 में, तो 2030 तक आपका 60 लाख 60 lakhs फिक्स CTC हो जाता है. I mean, that's 14% CAGR. 80 lakhs, sorry, 80 lakhs CTC हो जाता है यार, 4x हो जाता है. That's great. So that's not a bad figure, and this is what you should aim at. बहुत लोग बोलते हैं कि यार हम अब IIM विशाखापट्टनम जाने 10 लाख कमाएंगे तो जिंदगी भर 10 लाख कमाएंगे, तो that's not what it happens. या आप 20 ही कमाओगे. आपकी ग्रोथ, इन्फ्लेशन अगर आप 6% ले लो तो 12% CAGR भी आप मानो तो अच्छी ग्रोथ है.
Yeah, and so after MBA, a lot of the roles, the way I've seen have evolved are, if you're from a good B school anywhere, they will throw you with responsibilities. Even all baby IIMs, कि IIM से, if you're any other Indian company, throw responsibility. If you deliver up a notch, तो तुम्हारा chances of succeeding, getting a promotion, getting that is much higher. If you're shy or if you're under the rug in corporate, तो फिर वो नहीं, मुश्किल है उतना visible होना.
That's a great point, Sharang. But you said through responsibilities. What do you mean, and how important or how relevant that is to also the career growth of someone? कोई लोग ऐसा भी हो सकता है काम कर रहे हो पर वो विजिबल नहीं हो रहा हो, और रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी का मतलब क्या है, आप क्या एग्जैक्टली बोल रहे हो?
So, company, whatever company you're joining, right? Try and be part of the core of that company. So, if say consulting is very generic because the core is consulting and delivery work. But if I'm joining an IT company in general, I should either deliver a project or sell a project. I should not be working on say operations or even marketing, because that's not the core bread and butter. The
Understood.
core is actually understanding the software systems and selling it and delivering it to the client.
Understood.
So जो core है तुम्हारे operations का उस पे align करो. That's always better than being in a support function. And I feel after all it's a lot about people. Have mentors who vouch for you and talk about you in people. Because if you have mentors who support you, senior leaders who talk about you, ये बहुत चलता है. And it's not bad because that's how it should be also. That someone you worked with really liked working with you. Consulting fully works that way. Okay, he's good, let's take him for the next project or so. वो equations.
दैट्स सम ग्रेट पॉइंट्स अमोल तेरे लिए भी. थोड़ा अभी ये बताइए कि हर बी स्कूल में सेल्स, मार्केटिंग, फाइनेंस, किसी के भी रिपोर्ट में आप यही देखते हो, पर बहुत सारे व्यूअर्स ये पूछना चाहते हैं कि सैलरी तो चलो दिख जाता है, आप उससे 10% हटा दो, आपको रियल फिगर्स चाहिए, अगर थोड़ा कंजर्वेटिव भी चाहिए, लेकिन प्रोफाइल्स एक्चुअली क्या होते हैं? व्हेन आई से सेल्स और व्हेन समवन गेट्स अ सेल्स प्रोफाइल फ्रॉम आई एम लखनऊ, मेरे को आप ये बताना शारंग 3 कैटेगरी में, और आप भी बताना अभी आपको जो लगेगा कि क्या एक्सपीरियंस कर रहे हैं लोग या करने वाले हैं. सेल्स प्रोफाइल, व्हेन आई से आई मीन सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग, फाइनेंस और कंसल्टिंग, व्हाट इज अ काइंड ऑफ रोल, व्हाट इज अ काइंड ऑफ डे टू डे लाइफ समवन पासिंग आउट फ्रॉम आई एम लखनऊ गेट्स इमीडिएटली एंड आफ्टर 6 years, क्योंकि अब 6 साल हो गया, अभी क्या चेंज आया है ये थोड़ा बताओ.
So if I speak of B2C sales, mostly FMCG companies, they hire you as an ASM of sort, as a sales personnel. You will most likely be thrown into a tier 2, tier 3 city, some even villages, and your day in life would look like, and this is very generic, not making like a head-on thing. You will probably start off with your calls and follow-ups with your distributors about the stock, about the inventory levels, what's missing, and the kind of communicating, addressing any challenges. Then you will have a few follow-up calls with your sales managers who will take this stock from distributors and go to different stores. So उनको आपको दिन का टारगेट देना होता है, सुबह 8 बजे के आसपास.
अच्छा.
हाँ, तो ये 7 बजे 8 बजे तुम डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर कॉल्स कर सकते हो.
पर आपकी फिर आप इनसे मिलते कहाँ हो? आपकी एक ऑफिस होती है या रिमोट ही होता है सब कुछ? हाउ डज इट हैपन?
No, I'll tell you. All of this can happen in the office, but this is mostly very early.
ओके.
It happens remotely. ये 2 calls हो गए. Then you would probably go to the office. बहुत मैं I'm trying to paint a picture.
Yeah, because
Might, of course,
हाँ.
be fully different. This is what I've heard from my FMCG friends. When you go to the office, then once you've given targets to your sales managers कि ये stores ये areas में इतना बिकना चाहिए, that, and then is when you start making your leadership dashboard or whatever. So your first half goes in managing people, communicating, solving distributor local challenges, and doing a few trips. Maybe doing an office visit, office meeting. फिर उसके बाद market visit होता है दिन में, where you can select any particular area, any particular store, और roam around multiple stores in that कि तुम्हारा बिस्किट कहाँ पे रखा है, क्या डिस्काउंट्स चल रहे हैं, क्या ऑफर्स चल रहे हैं, व्हाट इज कंपटीशन डूइंग, व्हाट न्यू प्रोडक्ट्स एक्सेट्रा सीन. तो वो ऑन अ डेली बेसिस मार्केट विजिट भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. देन यू इवेंचुअली क्लोज द डे विद अ फॉलो अप विद योर सेल्स मैनेजर्स. हाउ मच वर यू एबल टू सेल, व्हाट वर द चैलेंजेस, क्यों नहीं बिका आज का इतना, क्या डेल्टा है, कैसे कवर करोगे. सो लॉट ऑफ दैट इज नंबर प्लानिंग डे टू डे कि इतना बचा है तो मैं इतना करके मंथ में कैसे टारगेट अचीव करूंगी.
Understood. अमोल, तेरे यहाँ क्या सेल्स प्रोफाइल आ रहे हैं? सिमिलर?
Almost similar in FMCG. Like while coming here, I was talking to my friend. He's based in one of the biggest Indian FMCGs. मैं नाम नहीं ले सकता अभी. And he has been thrown to some tier 3 city. And right now he's shadowing the ASM. But his work is just like this. Like he visits the shops and retail stores, ask for their needs. कि क्या परेशानी हो रही है उन्हें. Sometimes they'll just say कि जाओ यहाँ से नहीं करना ये वो, all kind of things. But yeah, almost similar to this only for FMCG.
पर कम कंपनीज कौन सी आती है वहाँ पे एमसीजी में इस बार? जो आई थी अब रिपोर्ट में. हाँ.
McD.
मैकडॉनल्ड्स.
We have Haldiram's.
ओके. डिसेंट नेम्स. और आई एम लखनऊ में आई गेस इज ऑल थोड़ा नाम बता दीजिए जो आते हैं.
Coca-Cola,
Asian Paints.
Yeah,
Okay.
Asian Paints.
अच्छा, यू आल्सो हैव एशियन पेंट्स. तो वहाँ एरिया सेल्स मैनेजर रोल ही जाता है एशियन पेंट्स.
Yeah.
अच्छा. तो आई थिंक दिस इज वन डिफरेंस दैट यू गेट ऑलमोस्ट ऑल एफएमसीजीज इन ओल्ड आईएम्स. न्यू आईएम्स में थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, बट ये रोल्स आते हैं, कंपनीज कोई और दे सकते हैं. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा अगेन अब आप स्टार्ट करना, नहीं आप स्टार्ट करो बिकॉज यू हैव मोर आइडिया. फाइनेंस रोल्स कैसे होते हैं, मतलब बहुत लोग बोलते हैं कि कोर फाइनेंस नहीं मिलता. व्हाट काइंड ऑफ रोल्स डू यू गेट व्हेन यू पास आउट फ्रॉम IIM Lucknow मोस्टली ऑन generic?
Again, different kinds, different levels. First, most premium roles are markets roles.
Okay.
Markets are your derivatives or tradings or in general FX markets or commodity markets. Anywhere with markets, making either trading algorithms or making those financial calls. So markets का एक profile आता है, बहुत prominent होता है. फिर IB आता है, investment banking. Investment banking is say all of your M&As, due diligences, and acquiring a stake or any form of investment, fundraising. So investment banking उसमें IPOs वो सारे बहुत काम करते हैं. These second coveted roles. Third would be corporate banking in general or project finance. So ये NBFCs हो सकते हैं, taking say credit analysis बोलते हैं, 500 crore loan देना है या नहीं देना है.
Great. I like the way you explain. Yeah.
Right? And corporate banking. And then finally fourth one, say retail banking इतना नहीं आता, but say any other role in a banking environment or finance environment.
Great. What about IIM Visakhapatnam Amol? किस तरह के अगर broad names जो
So I don't think
banking आते होंगे,
we have the first one, but then we have
corporate banking तो आते होंगे ये.
corporate banking है, we have IB roles. Apart from that, we have equity research and all. I think yeah, like all the other roles are some sort of similar to the
RM roles, relationship management भी आते होंगे.
very few, not
अच्छा,
much.
very few.
Very few.
Okay.
Yeah, equity research is also one.
Yeah, of course, all the roles. Most finance roles will come to IIM Lucknow, but yeah, just wanted to understand the difference between old and new IIMs. थोड़ा consulting के बारे में बताइए. टू स्टार्ट करा मोर, कंसल्टिंग के कौन कौन से कंपनीज आते हैं और क्या वो IT होता है, किस तरह के रोल्स होते हैं जो हमेशा करना है?
I think for consulting,
और वो फ्रंट एंड होता है या अगर आप पता नहीं होगा या if you know.
मुझे इतना नहीं पता अभी because this year for consulting, especially IT consulting, we had only Indian huge IT firms, be it Accenture, Infosys,
Capgemini नहीं.
Capgemini.
Okay,
I think last year we had Optum as well.
understood.
This year I have no idea.
So IT consulting is a big part of the consulting.
Very big part.
Big Four भी आते होंगे.
Yeah. Big Four में I don't think this year we had
Okay.
like, we had PwC and all.
हाँ,
But yeah, that.
अंडरस्टूड. और शारंग कंसल्टिंग ज़्यादा कौन सी कंपनीज होते हैं, क्या मैकेंजी BCG बेन ज़्यादा उठाते हैं या विच कंपनीज पिक अप मोर इन कंसल्टिंग?
Typical campus trends have been Accenture is a bulk hire.
Okay.
Deloitte sometimes hires a lot in consulting. McKinsey, BCG as and when project requirements come in.
Great.
They also have decent
Perfect.
numbers, but I think Accenture does have.
And overall, if you have to rank like the most number of placements in during your time, marketing, like the most finance or consulting, what would that be?
My time I think was very balanced.
Okay.
If I remember, 25 to 27% sales marketing, Genman, then 25 to again 27% consulting.
Pretty balanced.
Pretty balanced.
What about Visakhapatnam Amol? सबसे ज़्यादा roles?
I don't know the exact number for this.
एग्जैक्ट नंबर नहीं, सबसे ज़्यादा कौन सा फंक्शन का?
ज़्यादा is in finance only.
फाइनेंस के roles आए सबसे ज़्यादा.
2-3 years back,
हाँ.
at that time IIM Vizag was a marketing campus. Now it is transitioning towards being.
तो आप कह रहे हो सबसे ज़्यादा नंबर ऑफ प्लेसमेंट्स फाइनेंस सेक्टर या फंक्शन में लगा है?
I think as well. सबसे ज़्यादा offers finance में.
बहुत बढ़िया बात है.
Then comes marketing. and everything.
कैंपस कैसा है? अब दोनों जाके आए हो, अब दोनों विशाखापट्टनम कैंपस को पहले डिस्क्राइब करो, फिर लखनऊ के बारे में बात करेंगे.
I'll let him start.
ओके.
Oh wow, it's a very beautiful campus. When you walk down, say, our campus building, you see so many buildings and उनके पीछे surrounded by mountains. That's what Vizag is also, right?
तो IIM लखनऊ कैंपस ज़्यादा खूबसूरत है कि विशाखापट्टनम? बी ऑनेस्ट.
ये बहुत biased
नहीं नहीं, आप अभी ऑनेस्ट, इसमें क्या है? खूबसूरती की बात दोनों IIM से.
I think IIM Visakhapatnam is a great campus.
अच्छा, you don't want to answer that. Okay.
So and
no.
better new infrastructure.
अच्छा,
also,
वैसे.
right?
Okay.
So better built, better facilities. A lot of old IIMs fall back then because they're old, right?
Yeah.
But these new IIMs are doing really well in terms of infra.
That's a great compliment for the campus कि IIM लखनऊ वाले कह रहे हैं कि विशाखापट्टनम कैंपस बहुत सुंदर था.
Adding to that infra point, so I still recall like in one of my, I think I released my video on my room at IIM. So some IIM Calcutta people commented that we are really jealous that we IIMs are getting these kind of rooms because in our campus,
मतलब AC वगैरह है.
Yeah, we have like everything.
Acha.
You name it, we have it.
हाँ.
But in IIM Calanoil, you cannot even do anything.
Like what infrastructure? AC वगैरह के बात करके what is the infrastructure in the rooms?
For, like when it comes to hostels, we have like really nicely furnished rooms.
Acha.
AC.
You have furnished rooms.
Yeah, very high speed internet, a lot of space.
हॉस्टल में फर्निश्ड रूम्स. ओके ग्रेट. क्योंकि मैं भी आई एम बैंगलोर, तो मेरे टाइम पे तो कैंपस नहीं बना था आई एम विशाखापट्टनम का. वी गॉट अ होटल, तो वो फर्निश्ड था पर वो कैंपस वाला फील नहीं था, तो हमें लगा वन पॉजिटिव वन नेगेटिव. पर आप कह रहे हो आपको कैंपस में ही फर्निश्ड रूम्स मिलते हैं. वाह. तो पुराने कैंपसेस में फर्निश्ड रूम्स नहीं होते.
It's really amazing.
हाँ. ग्रेट. ऑल राइट. अब जस्ट टॉक टू मी अबाउट सारंग योर नॉर्मल डे. आपके बारे में मैंने थोड़ा कम पूछा. अभी आपका कैसा है? हाउ डू यू थिंक कि जब आपने शुरू किया था उससे अभी कितना कंट्रोल है ओवर द प्रोफाइल दैट यू हैव, वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस, एंड आर यू हैप्पी विद व्हाट यू वांटेड टू डू? कैसा लाइफ है अभी आपके?
I really wanted to do B2C sales
अच्छा.
first. But when I landed into a B2B sales role, 1 year of doing it, 2 years into it, I realized I like this more than I would have preferred a B2C. B2C person gets into brand management after 3 years, 2 to 3 years, or 2 is less maybe, 3 years average रहा है मेरे community में. I don't think that was the best move for me because B2B sales, IIM Lucknow or even your IIM is not a big topic to understand client relationship management, to understand really what they need and can you or are you able to deliver. I really like that part.
But so you're saying you're very happy.
I'm genuinely very happy.
And what do you like about it?
Yeah,
What do you like?
I love the fact that I get to be curiously explorative about a problem statement with my client.
Wow, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
don't have to get to a solution, but ideas, thinking of okay, how can we help? Can we get some time and come back to you and help you?
तो शारंग कह रहे हैं कि जब हर कोई कैंपस आता है तो B2C मतलब FMCG में सेल्स करना चाहता है. प्रॉब्ली ही ऑल्सो वांटेड दैट. अभी ये कैब जेमिनाई का सेल्स कर रहे हैं, तो अंतर ये होता है कि यहाँ टिकट साइज बहुत बड़ा होता है, सेल्स प्रोसीजर आई थिंक लॉन्ग होता है, करेक्ट में. बट वो इनको बहुत पसंद आ रहा है.
Yeah, you do like longer sales cycle, higher ticket
Yeah.
size, and much more thinking,
स्ट्रेटेजिक.
much more strategic. I feel, and when it's showtime and when it's interpersonal skills, वो element भी बहुत है because it's a lot of people and negotiation, so that's better.
अमोल, आपका आज पहला दूसरा दिन था कंपनी में.
Yeah, like I had my onboarding in Gurgaon.
तो क्या रोल के बारे में क्या कुछ पता है आपको, क्या करने वाले हो?
Mine is a mix of B2B and B2C.
हाँ.
So in our company we have like hospitals, franchisee owners, and then common people. So we have a mix of them. But again, like our ticket size is very less. And so I think for the initial 6 months, I'll be out there in the field, like understanding the whole business, how people perceive our brand, etc. I think we'll do that only.
ग्रेट. कुछ सवाल है जो मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ आई एम लखनऊ के बारे में. आई एम लखनऊ को हेल बोलते हैं या बोलते थे, अभी भी बोलते हैं कि नहीं पता नहीं क्यों.
बहुत rigorous है.
अच्छा, हेल मींस रिग्रेस प्रोग्राम. ओके.
I cannot compare it to the other role that I am because I am not fully aware. But we had a 6-day week academically.
अच्छा.
Most campuses have a 5-day week. So we have classes till Saturday evening, Saturday night. तो एक बहुत बड़ा point है. The way our first few months are designed, उसी में समझ जाता है that you are meant to overcome so many things. तो ये structure मैंने बाकी colleges में campuses में नहीं देखा because they're still figuring it out. जैसे induction हो गया, club committees ये dates पे announce हो गया, आपको ये prep करना है. Then you have to do this placement prep in this way. फिर colleges के classrooms के battles आते हैं. तो the environment is built in a way to foster growth, connection, aggressiveness, and ये थोड़ा मेरे को missing लगा था probably in the new ones.
अंडरस्टूड. आई एम लखनऊ के बारे में मैंने एक तो और चीज़ें सुनी है, पता नहीं इफ़ यू नो दैट और नॉट, कि इट डज नॉट रिलीज एवरेज सैलरीज, क्योंकि एक बार किसी की सैलरी रिलीज कर दी थी और उसको किडनैप कर लिया किसी ने. हाँ, बट इट डज नॉट रिलीज एवरेज सैलरीज. डज आई एम लखनऊ रिलीज एवरेज सैलरीज? इट डज नॉट. आप प्लेसमेंट रिपोर्ट में अब कुछ साल पहले तक तो आई एम लखनऊ एवरेज सैलरी नहीं निकालता था, क्योंकि एक बार उन्होंने हाईएस्ट सैलरी किसको मिला है ये या तो लिख दिया था या पता लगा लिया था, और जिसको मिला था उसको किडनैप करके प्रेशराइज किया गया था कि यू मैरी समवन, क्योंकि आपके पास इतने पैसे आने वाले हैं. सो दैट्स वन ऑफ द ट्रिविया.
I don't think that has anything to do
with IIM Lucknow authorities or something. But that's a trivia because a lot of people ask why doesn't it release salaries? Is it hiding something? But no, it's not hiding something. It's just a practice which they started. I'm not sure whether they do it still. अमोल थोड़ा सा आप ये बताओ कि IIM विशाखापट्टनम अभी बहुत सारे IIMs हो गए हैं. सनराइज IIM वगैरह बोलते हैं विशाखापट्टनम कैंपस सुंदर है बट क्या एक चीज़ है जो IIM विशाखापट्टनम लाइक स्टैंड्स फॉर?
I think it stands for transparency.
अच्छा.
Like
In what
before
sense?
joining Vizag, I always used to listen to IIMs are so toxic, whether it is for some committee or some program. I think IIM Vizag, I saw that like for my whole 2 years, there was not even a single moment when I felt like, okay, this is not right, this is becoming toxic. Yeah, we had all those rigorous things we just talked about, like club committee selection part, then placement preparation, but like we had like total transparency. Whether it was for some kind.
प्लेसमेंट कमेटी के वे में भी प्लेसमेंट कमेटी भी ट्रांसपेरेंट प्लेसमेंट कमेटीज आर नॉट सपोज टू बी ट्रांसपेरेंट.
No, not in that way.
हाँ.
What I meant was nobody was toxic. Firstly, secondly, like people say that they are not very approachable in the IIMs. So in
Who
our
they
campus,
seniors?
they were
They मतलब कौन सीनियर्स बच्चे?
the seniors like
अच्छा
scientists come out.
अच्छा but they were very
But
okay.
in a certain manner, जितना उन्हें होना चाहिए.
हाँ.
इतना भी नहीं है कि वो इतना हो जाए कि फिर everyone starts taking them for granted.
Understood.
So I think transparency was something which was like something which stood out for me.
Great.
Yeah.
It's lovely talking to both of you, Sharang and Amol. थोड़ा parting thoughts अगर आप लोगों को बताना चाहते हो कुछ भी who want to go to and I'm Lucknow, I'm Visakhapatnam, कुछ भी if you want to say something to aspirants आप क्या बोलना चाहोगे?
One thing that's coming to me is be very easy, be very chill. The more tensed you are about your exam or about your placement, the more your mind gets to it that saying I'm tensed.
Yeah.
और मैंने बहुत लोगों में वो लूप देखा है चलते हुए. Get out of it. You're only going to do MBA once in your life, mostly, and in a campus life, it's mostly going to be the best 2 years of your life. So don't be under the bound that it's going to be something very big for you. It's going to be transformative. Just take it with an open heart.
Great. Amol?
I think I agree with whatever you said, but again I would say like if you are somebody who's joining baby IIM or new IIMs, I think it requires a certain level of grit to just accept that okay, I'm going to this college, but I'll stay focused for the next 2 years so that after 2 years I'll get a placement offer which will be like comparable to other top tier B schools. So I would say yes, enjoy a lot. MBA is a one-time opportunity, but try to stay focused as much as you can so that after 2 years you can say that okay, even though I didn't get that college, right now I'm in a good position. So I think that is it.
Thank you so much both of you. I wish you well.